Okay, so third grade, your sound-alike words this week, last week, this week, no and no. Now, we talked about how this one's pretty easy. N-O spells no. This no is spelled like snow. Remember that O-W is a D syllable. It can sound like O-W snow O or O-W plow ow. But in this case, O-W snow O. So we know that everyone loves the snow. So if you can spell snow, you can spell no. Your other two sound-alike words are going to be which and which. So the way I tell kids to remember is this which you're choosing between something. So I always say, which digraph do I like better? Do I like the WH digraph or do I like the CH digraph? You're choosing between two digraphs. This which, if you draw that out, actually kind of looks like a witch. And this which actually follows the rule that we learned with the short vowel before the trigraph. So maybe this witch is a good witch and she likes to follow rules. So she follows the short vowel trigraph rule. That's a way to remember. No, no, I know I like snow. Which digraph do I like? And this witch is a good witch and she follows the short vowel before the trigraph rule. One last thing. Third grade. Wow, you have learned a lot in this last week. Hold on, I'm going to pause for a second because I need to focus this board. Okay, that's a little better. So we've learned a lot. We reviewed our CH digraph and compare it to the TCH trigraph. We went over our glued sounds, our closed syllable exceptions, and how A can sometimes say ah. So I'm going to give you a word, and I want you in your head, when I give the word, I want you to think where it would go, and then I will let you know. So the first one will be cramp. Cramp. Where do you think cramp would fit in? Cramp actually fits in right here. It is a closed syllable with a glued sound, AM, in a CR blend. Cramp. What about the word stitch? If you have to stitch a piece of clothing, what are you going to choose? The digraph or the trigraph? Stitch. You should have said right here this trigraph. Because I hear a short vowel sound, I know I need to use the trigraph. How about the word clang? Clang. Where would it go on my board? You should have said here in the glued sound. Clang. It has a CL blend. In third grade, I want you to look at this. You see this is cramp, clang. Remember that C can make a K sound. But generally, usually, when you hear it at the end of the word as a blend, it will be a C. There are some few words like krill or kryptonite, or in the word Kleenex, which is a brand. But most times, if you hear a K or a K, it's going to be a C. So clang is right here. That's how you box that in. It is a closed syllable. How about the word host? Where would host go in our list? Over here, it's an exception. H-O-S-T, and you would mark that just like that. Host. How about the word squash? Squash. I love to eat squash. You should have said all the way down in the last column. Squash. Remember, whenever it's squash or wash, when the A is followed by a W or a QU, it's going to make an ah sound. How about lunch? Lunch, my friends, goes right here because of that consonant before that CH, so it is a digraph. That's a closed syllable. Ch. Lunch. Hold. Hold. Where would hold go? OLD, cold, old. OLD, hold, old. That is an exception. One more? You got one more in you? How about champ? Where would champ go? Ah, that was easy. Champ rhymes with cramp. That's a glued sound. How about stretch? Where would stretch go? That'll be our last one. Stretch. You should have said TCH. St. Ch. St. St. Ch. Stretch. Third grade, that was a lot. CH, TCH. Figure out when you use which. Glued sounds review. Remembering that ALL makes that all sound with squash and wash. And then our closed syllable exceptions, ost, old, eind, ild, olt. Good job, third grade.